Hey everybody, today's topic we're going to cover hand washing, and I broke it up into 4 easy steps: why we hand wash, when to hand wash, how to hand wash, and sanitizers. And I just think this is the perfect topic and very popular, especially with everything going on. So without further ado, let's jump into the rest of the training. So why we wash your hands, and the main reason is to prevent foodborne illness by contaminated hands. As you know, our hands carry so many germs, and we're able to just spread those to about everything we touch. So that's why we need to practice and know proper ways to keep our hands safe and clean and from contaminating food and other people. You would first wash your hands before starting work, during food preparation, when moving from one food prep area to another, before putting on or changing gloves, after using the restroom, after coughing or sneezing, after touching hair, face, or body, after eating and drinking, after smoking, after chewing tobacco or gum, after handling raw meats, poultry, and fish, after cleaning activities like sweeping, mopping, and cleaning the counters. Also wash your hands after touching dirty dishes, after handling utensils, after handling equipment, after touching and handling trash, after handling and dealing with money, and overall, just when you think your hands are contaminated, whether you see it physically or not. So here's a summary of when it is required to wash your hands. And also just remember the things that we talked about today. A lot of the time you might not even realize that you're touching something, or you don't feel dirty, or obviously you can't see germs, but it's just always safe and a good precaution to just keep them clean, because you never know. Germs are very highly contagious, but yet we can't see them, but they're very powerful. So like I say, always better safe than sorry. So next we're going to move on to the topic of how to wash your hands both correctly and efficiently. There is a big difference when you decide to just put your hands in the water, rinse it off with a little bit of soap, versus using the correct methods to make sure you're efficiently getting as much germs off as possible, making your hands as clean as possible, and just taking a little bit of extra time to care for your hands to prevent any further contamination. So without further ado, let's jump into how we go about that. Wet hands and forearms with water that's at least 100 degrees Fahrenheit and apply soap. Once hands are lathered, wash hands for 10 to 15 seconds and rinse for 5 to 10. Use a disposable paper towel to dry your hands, or you can use a hand dryer and dry your hands under it for at least 30 seconds. Be sure to use a paper towel to turn off the faucet of the sink. With another disposable paper towel, use that to open the handle to the bathroom door. Here's a recap of directions on how to wash your hands. Okay, last but not least, we're going to cover the fun topic of hand sanitizers. Like stated earlier in this video, hand sanitizers are very, very popular, especially right now with everything going on. So it's very important to really touch base on this and just talk about the importance of it and when to use it in cohesion with hand washing. So let's jump into the rest of the video. So in terms of using hand sanitizer, the most important rule that we should remember is that it does not replace hand washing. Even though a bottle of hand sanitizer may say kill 99.9% of germs, it's always most effective to hand wash first, and then you could use hand sanitizer after washing your hands if you want. So use hand sanitizers only after your hands have been properly washed and dried, and make sure to only use those sanitizers that comply with the 2001 FDA food code. And so you work in a food service place, make sure wherever you're ordering your hand sanitizer from, just check with the manufacturer and make sure that they meet those FDA food code requirements. And like stated, so make sure to use those hand sanitizers in the manner specified by the manufacturer. So as much as it is easier, and sometimes when you're in a little rush, to just quickly put on hand sanitizer, always stick with hand washing and make sure to follow those hand washing steps and procedures, and you could always add sanitizer after. All right, so here's a little summary of what we talked about in terms of using hand sanitizer. All right, so I just wanted to add in some additional info before we wrap up today. So when you're working in a facility, it is always great to have some hand washing posters around to not only remind your workers of how to wash your hands, but to always just have that constant reminder of like, oh, I touched something, I should probably wash my hands, just by looking at it, remind them also to also show them the correct ways to go about washing your hands and when. Also, if needed, you could always have a hand washing training, especially if you have any new workers or maybe someone who's not familiar with the proper way of hand washing. It's always good to have that. And lastly, be consistent. So what I mean by be consistent, just make sure to remind your workers if it is a new thing to them to wash their hands, monitor if needed how they hand wash, and if they still refuse to or ignoring the hand washing policies, have some corrective action in place or work a plan with them to make sure they can increase cleanliness and protect against bacteria. So I just want to say thank you guys for sitting through this and just reading and viewing my little hand washing informative video. And if I'm not able to put the work cited in the comments of the video, that's why I put it here. So thank you to Shutterstock, iStock, and Pond5 for all the stock video that I used for my video today. I really appreciated the beautiful graphic designs I was able to put in here. So yeah, thank you all so much, and I hope you're able to take away something, keep any key reminders, and screenshot when needed if you want to view this video, and just screenshot any of those tips that I made. But yeah, I appreciate it, and I hope you all have a great day.